evening, everyone. Thank you all for joining me. Everyone who's here now and will be watching the replay later, thank you guys so much. Tonight, we have a lot of fun to get into. We're going to use the crystal ball. We're also going to mess with my pendulum that I've been using for years, but I've never introduced my pendulum to you guys. So we're going to ask some of the most popular questions that are asked all the time. So we're going to use it for yes or no questions. So that's a little bit later in the show. And also cards, of course, we got to use my cards. And this beautiful crystal ball. But it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to go over the hottest, latest news. Definitely Trump stuff we're going to get into. I will be taking your questions at the end of the show tonight. So I'll be doing my cards with the questions from the live chat. So start getting those thoughts stirring up and intuitive questions bring forward. Keep them geopolitical. This is a geopolitical show every Friday, so you don't want to miss it, using the mystical, intuitive insights. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. So mystical insights, geopolitical for Fridays. But thank you all for being here. I do want to highlight my website for those of you that are interested in a personal reading. I have updated my website, and I'm going to share screen right now real quick in case there's new subscribers here. Welcome. Make sure you guys are still subscribed. Make sure you hit that like button too. That helps us circulate. But go to arcanashores.net if you would like to schedule a personal reading. I always am opening more spots so that you can get in right away. And I have a lot of beautiful specials going on. And yes, they're like Black Friday deals all the time, but even more so right now. The one-on-one personal Zoom readings, face-to-face, and you can also have your choice of crystal ball, pendulum, cards. You just have to request it. But that one-on-one is only $117 right now, holiday special. Also, the express readings, there's a lot of specials. You just have to go on my website and find out what it is that you'd like to do. arcanashores.net. So exciting. But yes, like I said, you can request what mystical tool you would like me to use. And it's a lot of fun. And also, I want to talk about being a member of the YouTube channel here. So being a member on this YouTube channel, for some of you, it depends on where you live, but it'll say $3.99 or $4.99 to be a member of the Arcana Shores YouTube. So once you are a member, you will get a lot of perks because I'm doing a lot of members only classes, basically. So my videos are tutorials and classes on how to use like the pendulum, also my tarot cards, of course, the crystal ball. Also, have I shown you guys? I don't think I've ever shown you, but I have gold dice. So I teach a lot of, I teach myself, but now I'm going to be teaching a lot of you intuitive games to strengthen your intuition. And there's a lot of cool things you can do with dice to strengthen your intuition. So before every show, actually, fun fact, I do roll dice. I think of a number. I intuitively pick up on numbers and see numbers in my mind. And then I'll roll the dice 3 times before every show. So I've never told you guys that. But it practices your intuition. And most of the time, I do get them correct. So, but I do it every day. But that's just one fun little game. But there's so many different games. On the channel right now for members only, there's a pick a card available. It's not your typical pick a card reading that you'd find by anyone else. I'm teaching you guys an intuitive, I guess you could call it a game, how to strengthen your intuition. And I talk about the tarot as well, how to learn tarot with a foundation of trust. It's a foundation of trust in building your intuition as strong as possible. Because when it comes to learning tarot, sure, you could sign up for a class and probably won't finish it because they're just videos telling you what each card means. You know, like the Moon card, this is what it means. The 3 of Swords, this is what it means. And that's all that they give you. But my classes are very structured. It's going to be helping you to build a foundation, to build your intuition, your trust, your relationship with intuition. We all have it. We all have psychic ability. I am always a believer of that. But it's all within us, and we need to trust, but you have to build a foundation. Like if you want to be a professional tarot reader, I have a lot of you that are interested in that. And therefore, if you are interested in becoming professional and you want to build up your own channel and turn it into something, maybe get out of your 9 to 5 like I did, and so many other readers have, intuitives, psychics, we all have. So if that's something you'd like to look into, you can also book a one-on-one Zoom reading with me, and I can help coach you with that. So that would have to be separate. You would have to specifically email me and tell me, hey, I want to meet with you, yes, in the Zoom reading, but I want to talk about becoming a professional at whatever mystical tool trade that you want to do. So just let me know, but I am offering private lessons as well. You just have to book a one-on-one Zoom. Again, my 30-minute Zooms are also, those are something new that I haven't really offered for very long. So 30-minute Zooms are also available for those of you out there. But hey, let's get going. Let's have fun. I'm going to start, I believe, I'm going to start with the crystal ball tonight. We're going to go crystal ball, and then we're going to go with the pendulum, and then we're going to do the cards. I'm going to be taking your questions from the live chat. We're going to do some cards after that. Lots of things to go over, so, be thinking of some questions that would like to come through, that you would like to bring on the show, but please keep it geopolitical, keep it on topic, because people that watch the replay, they aren't going to want your personal questions mixed in when we're talking about geopolitical and Trump and all the good stuff. Okay, so that's just a reminder. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to zone out, so I won't be in the live chat. I won't be looking at the live chat. I zone right in with the crystal ball, concentrated, meditative state, and I'm going to tell you guys and be the messenger from my guardian angels and spirit guides, whatever they want to share, using my voice to tell all of you. So I will be in the zone, so don't feel ignored, those of you in the live chat. I'm just not going to be looking at it. But here we go. I'm going to start. I'm going to begin. So I like to just basically relax. You have to relax for those of you that are interested in crystal ball. And no, I'm not gazing into it. I'm not scrying. They call it scrying. But I actually use the crystal's energy. I'm calling in Archangel Michael for protection. Archangel Gabriel, I sense that presence already. Raphael. My spirit guides, my guardian angels. Bring forward any messages that you would like me to translate to the public, the collective, the audience watching right now and watching later. What information would you like to share? Okay. So I'm already picking up, they're giving me letters, and then the letters become a word eventually. But New York, okay, New York, right away. New York, leader. They're already starting with an M, so I believe that's, I don't know how you pronounce it, but I guess it's Mudami. Leader M, so that's okay. So they're showing me the word tied. He's tied into corruption, terrorism. Corruption, terrorism. Okay. I'm also getting, they're giving me an event. They're giving me alerts. It's like an alarm, but it's also like, it's ambulance lights. Ambulance lights. Okay, so I think that what's going to happen with Mudami, which I really feel that's what they're trying to tell me. Mudami is going to be a part of a takedown. Okay, so they're going to get him out of there. but not before they show and tell what's been going on, the corruption, the terrorism that he's been a part of. And I believe other countries are involved with, he's been involved with other countries as well. So a lot's going to come out about him. So I don't see him, he's not going to be there for very long. And like we saw this, I think last Friday, that he is a part of, he's part of the movie. It's a staging. They're staging him to expose him and then remove him. But I feel he's pretty dirty. I think he's in on a lot of the, so there's a lot of children, so child trafficking. There's something about a school coming through right now. There could be an event at a school. I know we're quick to think, a school shooting. I think that there's something else to that. I don't necessarily think it's a school shooting, but I think that there's a school exposure. There's some sort of someone within the schools or a district specifically, and a governor. They're also giving me the number 18. So the number 18, how is the number 18 significant? I'm just telling you guys what they're showing me through my visual. Again, I'm using the crystal as the energy for connection and protection. But what they're showing me is the number 18. The word district coming through. Okay, there's going to be an arrest. I think that's what those red lights are, because now I'm seeing red lights again. I'm also seeing that there's a harbor. So I do think they're showing me New York. New York arrests are coming. Okay. There's a bust, a drug bust with a ship or a boat. It's a ship. There's a drug bust at the port. There's a connection with New York, and it's Mudami. They just put an M there. So he's a big, okay, so he's a big part of the trafficking of drugs as well into New York and different ports, and he's been involved in that for a long time. Okay, interesting. And that kind of correlates with school. I think the school and the district that they're trying to tell me about, there's been there's a huge correlation there, and there's trafficking and drugs, and so it's kind of all connected. I'm picking up. Okay, so this is something different as well. So labs, there's labs underground that are going to be exposed. They're going to be talking about this. These labs are where they have ceremonies and where they do terrible things. Okay, so the labs, and they're showing New York, and they're showing me democratic blue states. Hubs, labs and hubs will be exposed. Non-human, evidence of non-human activity. Okay, so that's reptilian, that's all the sick, hybrid, weird things that we haven't seen it exposed yet, but we know that it exists. We know a lot of celebrities are a part of it, NPCs, reptilians, and God knows what else. But that's all coming forward. Now they're showing me the sky. Okay, let's see what this is about. So it's a dark sky with some stars in it, constellations they're showing me. Okay, so it's in the astrology, I believe they're trying to tell me. It's in there to expose the exposures. Okay. This is quite beautiful what I'm seeing now. So now what I'm getting is that there's going to be many ships. There's going to be many ships, and I'm seeing like they're like flying saucer ships, okay? There's going to be several cuz they're showing me several of them. They're all beautiful silver. They're all like almost like metallic, like just gorgeous looking. But there's so many in the sky, and they're all going to be coming. They're all going to be visible. They're also showing me people, and it looks like a lot of, I think this might be over New York. It's over a major city because there's a ton of people. There are a ton of people looking up at the sky. Tons of them. Like a sea of people. I mean, it looks like what New York City looks like when all the people are just walking. I mean, if you've ever been there, it's crazy. There's so many people, but that's what it looks like to me. It's a sea of people looking up at the sky, and there's just so many ships all in the sky. Also, they are not landing. They are just passing by to show themselves to everyone. So it's almost like an army of, it's the Galactic Federation. It's all good. They're just finally wanting to show themselves to everyone. And yes, some of us have seen them before, but this is going to be more visible to everybody. So you can't miss it. It's going to be invading the skies. So I do believe that's more of like a New York City over, it's going to be over a major city such as New York, because that's what it looks like with all the buildings and all the people. That's what it looks like. Making contact, initiating contact. Okay, so there is Donald Trump. His name is coming through. Donald Trump will go on air. This is going to be all over the place. This is going to be all over the screen, our screens, everywhere. All broadcasting. They're going to be broadcasting all of it, and Trump's going to go on. He's going to go live, and he's going to talk about this. He's also going to. They're giving me the word vague. He'll be kind of vague and not really answer certain questions, but he does know that this is going to happen, and he does know that this is only a matter of days. So it's soon. Sky event. And it looks beautiful. I don't think people will be, some will be scared, but I don't think for the most part people are going to flip out. They're just going to be in awe of what they're seeing. So it's a beautiful sight is what I'm looking at. But he will go on. He will be speaking about this because it'll be breaking news. It'll be like, wow, like, look what's happening. But he won't answer direct questions. It's going to be vague, but Spirit wants us to know that he's definitely aware, and he knows that they're coming to help humanity. He is also aware that there are dark galactic forces as well. But those that will be visible that night will not be of the dark, but they are to be shown and to show humanity their existence. It will be a night to remember. That's what I'm getting. This is pretty cool. I'm excited. And, thinking about this now, I've had a dream. I know my brother had a dream as well. One of our live shows, he talked about that. And speaking of him, he will be back. He wants to figure out a different genre or something different to do. But he's taking a break from all social media, YouTube especially. So that's, if you missed my show when I announced that I'm just readdressing it because I know you guys will ask. But back to the dream. I had a dream. I remember it was a few months ago of like silver UFOs coming. And these silver UFOs, I was walking on each one. And for some reason, it had really short blonde hair. It was kind of cute, but I don't know. In the dream, and black leather on. And I was walking on each one, and I was trying to find the USA. But all of the ones that I was walking on were different. They had different, countries on them. I remember seeing Russia, Spain. I mean, I saw different places, China, and I'm like, where's the USA? But I remember towards the end of the dream, I did find the USA with our flag on it. And that's the one I stood on, and it basically floated me away. So that's my dream. But my brother, he had a dream as well, and his was a little more scary. It's on one of our lives, but yeah, he said it was like a sky event. So we did see this months ago. Some sort of sky event is coming for sure. So that's exciting. But hey, that's what I'm getting with the crystal ball for this week. Okay, I love the information. It went in a direction I was not expecting. You just never know when you really engage, and you start to, some will call that channeling or whatnot, but you're connecting with your guides and your guardian angels, and you're asking what messages would they like to have come forward, and that's what they wanted for tonight. So awesome. I'm excited. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to set up for the pendulum. So give me a minute here and we'll get going on that. I have a few very popular questions we're going to ask the pendulum. So those questions, I'm just going to tell you guys now what we're going to be asking. First, we're going to ask, is the EBS this November of 2025? We're going to ask the pendulum. We're also going to, and I'm going to be working with my spirit guides as well with the pendulum, but the pendulum will give you a yes or no, and that's pretty much what I'm looking for. Of course, I can do it with the crystal ball too, but we're going to have a little more fun and change the tool. We're also going to ask, is Jasara Nasara or similar happening this November 2025? And we're also going to ask, will we see arrest happening this month? So this crystal ball reading did tell us that we will see arrest, but this is very specific. Will we see arrest happening this month of November 2025? For those who have gone after Donald J. Trump, those of Hillary Clinton, and I'll ask it separately. And then I'm going to ask again about Bill, and then I'm going to ask about Barack Hussein Obama, about their arrests, because I want to know yes or no questions. Is that going to happen? Is it going to be this month, November 2025? So we shall see. But we're just going to have a little fun with it. Those are the questions. And give me a second here, and I'm going to set up for that. I'll be right back. All right, so I'm all set up. Thank you for giving me that minute there. So I am saging to cleanse and clear the energy from the crystal ball reading, calling in Archangel Michael, Gabriel, my spirit guides, also a very special guardian angel I call Gracie. She told, what came through me, what she told was that her name is Gracie, but she works with me with this beautiful pendulum. It is an aquamarine pendulum, and I've had it for quite a while, a few years now. My first one was an amethyst, but I definitely feel more connected with the aquamarine crystal, and I've had some really amazing results for the past few years. So I believe it was it was 2022 actually, when this one came into my life. So very cool. But yes, I like to sage. It's a great way to cleanse and clear the air. So here we go. We're going to get into this, and I do have my cards here. Sometimes I use the cards for more clarification. And I'm going to share screen so you guys can see how I have the pendulum. Let's see, because I want you guys to see the top of the post. The reason why I'm not holding it is because, definitely it's a presentation. This is a show for you guys to see and demonstrate everything. I do hold the crystal when I ask the question. There's many ways that you can use a pendulum, and I'll be teaching all of this if you become a member on this channel. You'll get members only videos and you can learn all about it, but I'll show you one way that I do it tonight, and it's going to be a lot of fun, guys. So as you can see, there's already movement, but that's because I've been on the table. So I'm going to stabilize the crystal, and then I'm going to pull up those questions, and I am going to hold the crystal as I ask them. You'll see my style in just a moment. But you can see the post, you can see everything. I'm not going to actually hold it and do it. I do that on my own. Sometimes I'll do it that way, but I think tonight it's really fun to use the post. That way you guys can see clearly what's going on here. But here we go. We're going to start with the first question. One of the most popular questions that is always asked. We're going to ask my beautiful crystal here. Thank you, guardian angels, for assisting. First question. Is the EBS or anything similar to the EBS happening this November of 2025? So the movement that I see is coming back and forth. So when it moves back and forth like it is right now, it's going more so across. And when it's an across movement like this, it's very gentle, it's very slight. And now it's starting to swirl just a little bit. So that's technically a no for November of 2025. Yeah, she's swirling a little bit. So if it were a yes, the way that this pendulum gives me a yes, because each one is different until you build like a relationship with it. But this particular crystal goes up and down. You'll see it more like up and down for a yes. This is showing me a no for the EBS this November of 2025, and that's okay. We do know that it's soon, so something is similar coming soon. And maybe it's that they don't call it the EBS, but I did ask, is it the EBS or something similar? Still getting a no. So not yet for November 2025. That's okay. Next question. Is Jasara and Nasara or similar happening this November? So I'm going to come back to my crystal. Okay. Is Jasara Nasara or similar happening this November 2025? Is Jasara Nasara something financial, abundance to the people, wealth back to the people? Is any of this happening? Is anything like this happening for November of 2025? Okay, wow. Well, that's a very clear yes. I'm wondering if you guys can see that. I even drew an arrow on that paper. That's what that's for. But I don't know how well you could see it. But the up and down, so towards me and then towards the camera, the computer. So back and forth motion is a yes. Okay. So yes, there's going to be for the people. Okay. Um, that's good movement. Okay, so back and forth. Beautiful. That's a good one. We wanted that one. Let's do this next question now. Okay. So bringing it back home for a minute here. Okay, so will we see arrest happening this month of November 2025 for those who have gone after Trump? First name, Hillary Clinton. Will we see an arrest of Hillary Clinton November 2025, this month? Will we see an arrest of Hillary Clinton? That's a yes. That's a clear yes. That's a yes. Yeah, we want that. It's awesome. We already know the real one's probably dead and gone, but you know, the character, who, you know, her name, let's bring it down. Let's take her in. Show us the arrest. It's time. So we're getting a yes. Okay, so that's good. We like it. Next question. And I'm going to light a little sage actually because I just feel like I need to. But the next one we're going to check on now is Bill. Okay. We know with the Epstein files that have been, now they're going to release more about that. But Hillary, Bill, like this is it. Like we're going to see all the files, all the things, all everything. The murder cover-ups, all those kinds of things. All that's coming through. So this is getting good. If they're going to arrest Hillary, which is a yes, then I'm sure Bill's next. So let's take a look at Bill. Will we see an arrest this November of 2025 for Bill Clinton? Bill Clinton. Give it a moment here. So the swirl or whirl, when it kind of goes in a little circle, it's not a flat out no. That's like almost, maybe. That's more of like that maybe energy, okay? So that's not always a no. And we saw a little bit of that action with the first question about the EBS or anything similar. So that just means not yet, because it's not a no. It's not giving me a no. It's giving more so positive, like maybe, you know, not that it's maybe, it's going to happen. It's just not, maybe not this month. Maybe they're going after Hillary first. Okay, so he's probably after her or whatnot. They're going to highlight Hillary first, I guess. Let's ask about Barack Hussein Obama. Will we see an arrest this month of November 2025? Barack Hussein Obama? Will we see him be arrested November 2025? That looks like a clear yes to me. I'm going to give it a second to do its thing and show us. Okay, that's not really changing much. There's no swirls. It's not whirling. That's more front and back energy. It's coming back, you know, towards me and towards you, the computer. All right, so Hillary and Barack Hussein Obama. So there's going to be a lot of attention around them this month. I did ask for an arrest. Looks like they're going to lead to the arrest. It's going to lead up to it. Very cool. All right, well, there you go. That's the pendulum reading for tonight. I'm going to take a second here and clear this and clear it to the side. And then we're going to be doing questions with my beautiful tarot cards, my design tarot cards. So yeah, let's do this. I'll be right back. 1 second. All right, so now we're going to be doing the cards. So be thinking of questions that you guys want to ask. In just a few moments, I'll be in that live chat and I'll be taking some of your questions. But before I start that, I want to share screen. So Tuesday is my next live show. Now, the time is not determined yet, but I do believe it will be in the evening. But I have a very special guest who is returning for a nice show for Tuesday, and that is Lance Shuttler. So he will be on Tuesday. I believe it'll be in the evening, like I said, but I'll announce the time definitely by Monday, hopefully before. We're going to decide on a time, but I'm looking forward to that. We're going to do a quantum news update, and we will be going over Maha. We'll also be going over a lot of the cool things Lance has been up to, including his Mar-a-Lago and a bunch of other stuff too. I see in the chat, yes, I knew it, and I did address it maybe about 10 minutes ago, but I'll address it again about Jason, my brother. Whoops, now the screen is acting funny. Oh, there we go. But yeah, Jason, I addressed this on a show separately, and then I already addressed it on this show again, and here we go again. But I know you guys are going to continue to ask. But Jason, my brother, he wants to take a break from YouTube, social media in general, politics. So I can't blame him. He's got a lot going on. He has a career. He helps children. He's a school psychologist, so he's got a full-time thing going on. But he would like to take a break. He will return once he figures out maybe a different genre, something that just is, because as we're growing, we're evolving. We don't want to continue doing the same questions and the same, so I totally get where Jason's coming from. I'm the same way. I like change. I don't like the same thing every single day. So Jason, yes, will return on his terms. Okay. So I know you'll continue to ask, but I have addressed this several times. But there you go. But yeah, so me and Lance, if you're new here, some of you are new. We used to have a show called Quantum News, and we did updates and stuff. So it was pretty fun. So we'd get together and do that we used to have a Sunday show for a little while back in like 2023 and some of 2024. But hey, now we're going to come back and do a little show. We're going to do these occasionally, so it's not going to be like a weekly thing. But yeah, this will be a great little reunion. I know a lot of you know and love Lance. He's a great guy. He's been a great friend to me for over 3 years now, so pretty cool. But love him, and he'll be on Tuesday. I'm so excited. That'll be so fun. But I wanted to address that, and yes, the time. I'll announce the time as soon as I know, but it's going to be in the evening for sure. I'm sure of it. But anyways, I'm going to take some of your questions, and we're also going to go over gold, silver, XRP. Let's do that. So I'm going to share Kraken. Kraken is there's Kraken, there's Coinbase, there's so many out there. But for some reason, I'm drawn to this one. I'm just going to refresh the screen. Let's take a look at what XRP is currently at. XRP is currently at 228. 228, it is down. This would be a great time to get XRP if you don't have it, especially even if you do. This is a time to stock up. And definitely, why not, even if it's just a little bit, but XRP is the one for sure. backed by gold. But hey, let's take a look, and we're going to go over cryptos on Tuesday as well. So I'm just going to do a little bit. But let's take a look at XRP. It is a Friday right now. So the weekend, I already sense like the weekend we're going to see a little bit of fluctuation, but it's a great buy-in opportunity. Whenever a crypto of choice, whatever one you like, is down, that's when you want to buy in. So I am going to start, and let's pull some cards on XRP. Let's take a look. What is the overall energy? You know, and we're getting closer and closer to Thanksgiving. So let's just see what Spirit wants to share with us with the cards, a vibe check. Here we go. XRP. Ooh, the World card. Okay, the World card, but not only that, we have a new moon coming. All right, we just had a full moon, but we also have a new moon coming. We're in retrograde. So, and I know Jupiter's being affected. Jupiter can affect financials. But what I'm feeling like this new moon, and I believe it's next week, I think next week we're going to see more, we're going to see some movement with XRP. I don't think it's the major blast off, no, but we're going to see it go up. So I'm telling you, now is the time to buy in with XRP. But yeah, this is an incline. So we're going to see an incline for next week. As it gets closer to Thanksgiving, let's see the energy. Let's see if Spirit will share the energy with us. So 5 of Pentacles, Ace of Wands, and Page of Pentacles. All right. So taking you away from the 5. The 5 is a change, a slowdown, 5 of Pentacles. So I think it's going to rise. We're going to see a really good rise by Thanksgiving. Let me ask, just because it's fun, is this one of the biggest waves? Because I believe XRP is going to have multiple waves. I don't think it's just going to have one huge blast, you know. I feel like there's going to be waves. So is it going to be the first wave right around Thanksgiving? Here we go. Let's take a look. Wow, the card of Ascension in my deck. Okay. 6 of Pentacles, receiving. And then the 4 of Wands, celebration. So yeah, around Thanksgiving, we're going to see a huge wave, a good action with XRP. Like I said, it's going to have multiple waves, but I think the first wave is right there around Thanksgiving. So very cool. We'll continue to check on it. But it's always fun just to see what does Spirit want to share with us right now. A vibe check. Pretty cool. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at another one. I'm going to share screen once again. I'm just going to pick one that I intuitively feel we should check out. And that would be Ethereum. So those of you that have Ethereum, you probably want to get more. It is down right now. It's a very good one long-term to have, Ethereum. Let's check it out. Here we go, Ethereum. Ethereum has major change and growth, evolving. So Ethereum's a good one to have if you do have it. This is one that's going to be around. It's going to always stick around because some of them are going to drop off and go away, but not Ethereum. Definitely a good one. Lots of abundance here for Ethereum. Stable, long-term financial wealth. This is a producer of that, Ethereum. Ethereum, XRP. I think it's Serrano or something like that, or Solano. I really feel like that one as well intuitively. Yeah, this is very strong, Ethereum, for a long term. So those of you that have it, and that you've had it for many years, like there's a lot of XRP holders too. They've had it for so many years. Like you're going to be set completely. But anyways, let's move to gold and silver. Let's change it up a little bit. Here we go. I'm going to hold up. Let's take a look and see what it is. I know I pulled up that tab. Share screen with the price of gold currently. Let's see what that's. Yeah, it's down. Everything's kind of down today. That's all right. That's what it currently is showing us. And then let's take a look at silver. Silver is the one to have. Now, let's say you don't even like, you're scared of the cryptos or you don't understand it or whatnot. Just get your hands on some silver. Here we go. So silver's down too. There you go. But let's take a look at the energy. Once again, we'll go over this on Tuesday. So my next show will be on Tuesday. But let's take a look. What is the overall energy? I'm going to do a spread for gold and a spread for silver. So first for gold, overall, the moon card for gold, transformation. Ooh, it's going to continue to rise. So this is going to have a spike also. And with the fire and the air energy, it's going to be very sporadic, just as it is. Gold and silver, cryptos, it's all the same, but it's very sporadic. It'll have its day. And then here's silver, 10 of cups. Silver's the one to have. Silver. And silver, I'm going to stand by my prediction of like 100 by the end of the year. I really think silver is going to be amazing by the end of the year. And it's receiving the 10 of cups. You can't beat the 10 of cups. You also can't beat the 10 of wands. It's a very powerful, fiery completion, powerful, successful. So it's looking good. So gold and silver, amazing. So hey, now since we had our fun with the financials, and now I want to change things up, let's take a look at the live chat and let's see what is out there. Do you guys have any questions? I'll take a few. I'll take like 3 questions. And don't forget, keep it more geopolitical or more resonating with the crowd, with everyone watching. No personal questions. Because honestly, the collective doesn't really want to, like on the replays, they're not going to want to hear personal questions. So if you do have something personal going on, I really suggest go to my website, a personal reading, arcanashores.net is where I have all my great holiday specials as well. Let's take a look. Any questions? I'm going to look at the new comments. Let's see. So yeah, any personal questions? I know Morningstar, that's personal. So let's keep that for a personal reading. But anything that will resonate with the public, with the collective. I like this from Very Star Fairy. Thank you for being here. If we hear right now, let's just pull this in. Can we jump and shift timelines to higher fabric? Let's pull it in. So about abundance, about whatever it is you're trying to manifest, a better future for yourself, just pull it in. We talk about law of attraction a lot on this channel, manifestation, matching the frequency of the frequency you're trying to pull in. You have to do that. You have to become the frequency of what you're trying to pull in. But exactly, I love that. Thank you for the reminder. And then you also wrote, is that a possible what's coming in within the next week? So within the next week, Very Star Fairy wants to know, right now, pulling it in, can we jump and shift timelines to a higher fabric? Is that coming within the next week? To jump into higher timelines. I love this question. Something is shifting because not only am I feeling it, but in the personal readings, I'm noticing it when I'm meeting with all of you that we are all like on a different, we're changing paths. We're already there with our perspective. We already have this momentum and this sense of knowing that whatever you're doing right now in your life, career-wise, purpose-wise, whatever it is on the daily, something's going to shift for you. It's not going to remain the same. And yeah, we are in retrograde right now, but it's a great time to do a lot of reflection. And when you reflect, and exactly what Very Star Fairy is talking about, when you reflect, actually, that holds so much power. I know there's a lot of down talk about retrograde, but retrograde is actually very beneficial because reflection is healing. You're also going to see deeper things that you don't always notice about yourself, or You'll find a deeper meaning in something that maybe you never saw before. So it's a beautiful time. It's a time of transformation. And yeah, they always say don't start anything new, or sign anything new or buy anything. Don't sign any contracts. Not yet until retrograde's over. But this is the time to really reflect, revise, and also manifest. But let's get back to the question here. I could talk all day. Is it possible within the next week? Are we going to be jumping and shifting timelines? Okay, here we go. Let's take a look what Spirit wants to share. Queen of Swords. Absolutely. Queen of Swords. So not only that, but she's about boundaries, speaking her truth. So a lot of us are going to feel more empowered to like speak up, and not only just like with defending yourself, which we have to be careful right now with that. I know Mars is going wild right now. But you have to also like speak your truth with yourself, you know. What are you telling yourself? Are you speaking truth? Are you, being positive, or are you being negative? What kind of fabric, what kind of timeline are you trying to jump into? It all depends on what you're talking about to yourself. So watch your words with yourself. Watch your honesty with yourself. Here's the King of Cups. Okay, so let's see what that comes into. Yeah, I mean, you can't transform. You can't jump timelines without a bit of an emotional shift, an emotional release. You cannot lose the old version of yourself without shedding some sort of emotional attachment or something from your past that you allow that to define you or get in your way, or an old thought process of so and so said I was a loser and I will not amount to anything, and you haven't. That's not true. But there's people out there that will hold on to that for many years, and it continues to block them because they believed in that. They believed in what that person said to them. That is stored trauma, held on to. It's anger as well. So they're not in their full alignment. They need to shed that old version. That's not even true. And that old emotion, because the emotion of sadness, or whoever made you sad, or whatever words made you sad, that triggers in the body from different people that mirror you, triggers, even going places might trigger you, that remind you of something from your past. So you have to be careful of that. And it's a very emotional time right now. So that makes a lot of sense. But we have to shed that. We have to, and that's what this time is about. You can't really shift timelines unless you address the emotions that you've been holding on to, and address where they're from. Why are you feeling that way, and what's it attached to from your past? And if that past thing is in your life, it needs to go. It needs to be something that you cut loose and disconnect from altogether. So to shift timelines, it's all in your power. Negative versus positive, it's all right here. It's basically what I just said. Wow. Okay, so Spirit is really working with us. So the negative thoughts, or the positive loving thoughts. And it's funny that we have Capricorn and Gemini, because that's what I am. But anyways, so the Capricorn defeats the devil. That is, if you're a Capricorn, you understand what that means. So you will go through many challenges in your life. All Capricorns do. It's just they're born into it, but they have to defeat every challenge, and they have to win every challenge. But some, and that's why it's coming out. That's why they gave me this card, because some people, their thought process, they stay in their head too long about what happened to them or what happened in an experience. And then they question why. Why did this happen to me? What did I do wrong? So all these things are just all in their head. But we have to release that. We have to be healthy about it, release it, understand it wasn't you. and move on. That's about the shedding of the old version. This side, it's a choice. It's a choice to choose love and choose acceptance of who you are. All whatever you think are flaws about yourself, which you're probably wrong, but whatever, whatever you think of yourself in that form, you need to see the beauty, you need to see the acceptance. You need to love yourself, as we always talk about here. But it's your choice. What do you want? Not just in your head space, but in your chakra, your crown chakra, your aura. What do you want to carry around? What is the energy that you carry? Because the energy that you carry is what is attracting your reality, and that's going to attract the timeline that you're jumping into. So yeah, it's very deep, and I hope you guys understood all that. Sometimes I don't know. It's because I'm just speaking whatever is flowing through. So I hope that resonated with someone and helped someone tonight. But yeah, that's exactly what was coming through. But anyways, I thank you all so very much for being here. I'm going to wrap up the show. But once again, if you like a personal reading, please go to arcanashores.net. I have a lot of great holiday specials there and immediate openings because I always edit my calendar to get you guys in. But thank you all so very much, and I'll see you on Tuesday. Tuesday evening, I'll announce the time as soon as I know. You guys take care. Bye.